Hi everyone, I'm Isabel.
And I'm Kateri. Welcome back to another episode of No Sugar with Everything Kraus.
Woo woo. Yeah. Episode number 6.
I
So
love recording these episodes. It is so much fun.
literally highlight of my week.
Like every
But
time we do the intro, I just get so excited. I'm like, here we go.
it's so funny, like holding back the laughter in the intro is hilarious. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm literally sitting here like
I know. We just have to do like a full blooper scene of all of our intro tries after like 10
yeah,
episodes because
because
it's a
there's
lot of
like five an episode,
Mhm.
honestly.
At least.
Yeah. All right. So Kateri, home from Tulum. If you guys listened to our last episode, you know that she went briefly
Yes.
there for vacation. So how was it?
It was amazing. Like I'm very happy to be back and comfortable in my own home. I
Yeah.
think especially just like traveling, you never know what can happen, but it was so relaxing and Tulum is just picture perfect. Like it's an
It
Instagram
looked it.
girl's dream, literally. Like everything is just so beautiful and it's green and the beach is just it's beautiful and it was really really relaxing. Like I feel like I didn't have any worries the entire time I was there and really just went with the flow like okay, breakfast this time and lunch here, dinner here, this is what we're going to do today. Like I just went with the flow of what everyone agreed
Wanted to
upon
do.
doing. Yeah, and it's like, "Oh, does anyone else wanna do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I feel like it was just a very needed mini vacay and so relaxing. I loved
Yeah,
it.
and I also just feel like when you go into a trip with literally no expectations or no thought to like really like want to do something, you
Exactly.
can't be upset with anything. So
Mhm.
everything is just naturally so fun. It's
Well, and
like
I
the
really
best way to travel.
exactly. I really didn't have I wouldn't say I didn't have high expectations, like, I knew it was gonna be amazing, it's Tulum, but I didn't let myself go and be like, "I hope it goes like this, and this the whole
Yeah.
time," because exactly like you said, then that's kinda when you get let down, and then you let that overtake it, but yeah, it was amazing. I'm happy to be back, but
Yeah. Well, that's so
it
awesome.
came and went so fast. I was like, "Oh my
Really
gosh."
did. Such a mile marker in my head of like, oh, Kateri's going to Tulum like this month, and I
Yeah.
can't believe it's already over with. I'm like, damn, we're already here.
I
Okay.
know, like, literally
Okay.
coming up on the last week of April. It's like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah,
Even
but
just basing it off of how many episodes we've recorded, like, we record once a week, so that means we're now 6 weeks in. Like, what?
crazy.
It feels like
Crazy.
yesterday that we were telling people we were launching a podcast.
I know, right?
I
Like,
know.
planning out the first what is our next episode gonna be? Like, crazy how far we've already
I
come,
know.
but so excited to be sharing more with you guys, and I really think you guys are gonna like the episode topic today. So we're
Yes.
really gonna just go into what our fitness regimen is, I would
Mhm.
say. I don't know, like, is that what I would call it? Just what
Yeah.
our, like, every week fitness routine is. I feel like a lot of people always, make their own, but also are curious about what other people do. I know
Mhm.
I'm always curious about, like, how people set up their gym week, what works for them and why it works for them.
Mhm.
So, we're kinda just gonna go into, first off with what our gym routine or our fitness in general, because it's changed a bit now,
Mhm.
is throughout the week because
Yes.
it's like one of the most consistent thing in our life, I would say.
Yeah, I
So,
feel like fitness is a giant part of our lives, and it's just so naturally a part of our life that we don't even realize that, like, this is a routine or it's a habit. Like, of course it is, but it's so natural to us that it fits pretty seamlessly into our
yeah,
life.
that's so true.
I'll go over just basically what our week looks like in terms of the gym and exercise. So, our normal weekly gym routine, and whether Isabel and I are together or apart, we both kind of follow the same thing just because it works for us. So, Monday is a glutes and hamstrings workout. I love to start with legs. I just feel like it's like, let's get this hard one over with.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, back and biceps. Wednesday, glutes and quads. Thursday, chest, shoulders, triceps. And then Friday tends to be like a core and cardio type mix.
Yeah.
I feel like it's normally a shorter workout for us on Fridays just because, like, you're at the end of the week. And then we like to take the weekends as a rest day, which
Yeah.
I feel like that's just when we go on our walks or with our mom, we can,
Yeah. Like, it's
move
it's
through.
definitely very active rest days, but,
Yeah.
if we do, like, I feel like some Saturdays we've worked out, but if we don't get it in, it's not the worst thing.
And then, like, Sunday, it's more of, like, we go to church and we have a big breakfast with our family, so then it's, like, maybe we'll go on, like, one walk that day, so it's more of kind of relaxed feeling. But now I think as we've mentioned, we're doing a 10-mile run at the end of this month. So that's a race coming up in Philadelphia. So we've kind of shifted our routine a little bit because obviously that gym routine doesn't have as much cardio in it. But if we're running 10 miles, gotta kind of pick it
Yeah.
up.
We definitely had to work some training in there.
Yes. Yeah. So with the race coming up, we've adjusted it. It's still similar, but it's of course has more running involved. So Monday we like to do yoga sculpt. There's a yoga studio that we love right by us, and they have a yoga sculpt class which uses light weights, which I feel like we both really resonate with, and I feel like it works our entire body, so it's a good way to just kind of start and activate our muscles for the week.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
definitely also I just wanna say, like, it's not I'm not saying it's a hard workout, but it's definitely not like a, "Oh, this is a rest day yoga workout." Like,
oh
no,
no, it's a
no, it's sweat, man. I'm kicking in that class. Most of the week, it's, like, my hardest workout
yeah, it's like
sometimes.
a I don't know how to explain it. Like, not saying that yoga isn't a workout, but it's a different type of yoga. It's yoga influenced moves with weights still.
Yeah,
So,
it's intense
yeah,
in a
it is.
hot 98-degree room, so
Mhm.
you're sweating a lot, but okay,
Yes.
continue.
And then Tuesday, we'll do a full leg workout. So we'll incorporate quads and hamstrings and glutes all in one, try and hit like at least a move for each of them. And then Wednesday is upper body. So kind of same thing, back. We'll do some shoulders in there, kind of throw them all in. We don't want to kill our bodies for the rest of the week. So we won't go probably as many moves in those days. And then the rest of the week, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I feel like it really depends on how we're feeling. So it's either we'll run or we'll take a rest day. And I feel like we've both done a really good job at like, okay, how are we feeling today? Am I super, super tired? Are my legs going crazy? Am I just going to burn myself out? Okay, then I should rest. Or
Yeah,
I'm still feel pretty good. Let's get a run in and then we'll use the weekend for the rest. So it
yeah,
really just depends on how we're feeling. I think with work schedule, it's easier to do a longer run on Saturday and, rest on Thursday
yeah.
instead.
It's
So,
almost like a yeah, it's very we take it as a very natural approach, like, when it naturally feels like we need a rest day, my legs don't feel like they could provide me with the best outcome from a run that I'm gonna try and
mhm,
do later in the day, like, then I'm not gonna try and push my legs, like,
exactly.
if my legs need rest, they need rest, that's not a
Yeah.
sin.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we really just take it very intuitively and
Mhm. Like, we
pay
don't plan
attention.
out when we're gonna
Yeah,
have a rest day, it's like, let's see how we feel, and we
yeah,
tend to be on the
exactly.
same page, and if we're both not, and I feel like running that day and Isabel doesn't or vice versa, it's obviously okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, I do love that aspect though of our running
Mhm.
routine work week is that I feel very much like the gym, I'm always just like, I'm fine to go to the gym. Like,
Yes,
as much as I'm pushing my legs, I am fine with it, but running, it's definitely a little bit more
intuitive.
taxing. Yeah,
Mhm.
you have to pay attention to your legs because one day you may just have an epically terrible run if
Yeah,
you keep pushing yourself, like, it's tiring,
yeah,
especially
exactly.
because our training is like 5 miles minimum. So
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten to that point just because it is a 10-mile race, so we're like, "Let's just keep it at 5 miles,"
yeah,
basically, 5 miles or above, which now 5 miles feels like nothing to us because 'cause we've just done it so many times, which is an
yeah,
amazing feeling.
it
But
is
kinda
crazy.
yeah, kinda going off of that, it's like, obviously, we've added more cardio into our routine, and it's been super interesting to see how our bodies have just shifted and naturally been like, "Okay, this is what we're doing now." I also think how much weights we do, especially leading up to shifting our routine, has definitely helped us. Like we hit legs twice a week. So of course our legs are strong and muscular.
Yeah.
So going into running, we had that benefit. It wasn't like we were going from couch to running. We were just going from the
Yeah.
gym to running.
There was a transition. Still different and
Mhm,
still takes a different mindset, but definitely was like, the strength in your legs is so important for running. I've
mhm,
noticed that because as we do dwindle down on our leg days a little bit much during the week, like, I
mhm.
feel my knees hurting a little bit more, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I know.
super important to keep that strength when
Yeah.
you're running long
It's
distance."
definitely it's definitely been interesting finding, like, a balance too. It's like, "Oh, should I be going harder in the gym or should I be doing more run days?" And, like, obviously, we're not running a marathon, so it's, like, a little bit different. We're not, training 26
Yeah.
miles. It's only 10 miles compared to that, which feels like nothing.
But,
But
like, I'm not a runner, so,
yeah.
like, 10 miles for me is like, "Oh,
Oh,
shit."
oh, no, I'm not dissing that. We finished 10
Yeah.
miles last week, and I was like, "Holy shit."
Yeah. My god, that was woof.
That was crazy, like, I can't believe we did that, and then I immediately was like, "I can't believe people continually run for 16 more miles and then probably way more." Like, there's
Yeah.
longer races, but
It's crazy,
yeah.
but I also feel like it is so interesting to see how running has affected our bodies, but also for me, and I think for you too, like, my mindset just
Mhm.
around, have it's definitely increased my discipline or my I wouldn't say motivation, I would say just like the act of having to go run is a lot different than the act of going to the gym for me.
Mm.
For I know for both of us, like I love going to the gym. It's never hard to like I mean, the hardest part about waking up is like the fact that it's 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning, but
Mhm.
going to the gym I'm never mad about. So when I go wake up to go run, it's not something I'm particularly looking forward to.
Yeah.
I would say so it's really interesting to see how our mindset has changed since
Mhm.
I did start running. Like I feel like I've come across a lot of different realizations. One
Mhm.
being like when I started running, I really have never been a runner. Like I've run in Cape May, but I always hated it. I barely could finish the boardwalk, which was 4 miles. So now I'm at the point where I started at 3 miles and just seeing myself shift to what was the mental change I made to get me to 10 miles. And it really let me phrase it as this. Like what really changed in me with running was when I ran my first 5 miles, I realized like how much your mind has to do with the activities that you're doing. So
Mhm.
when I was running and my body, like your mind will naturally always tell you to give up. It's an
Mhm.
instinct for, if you're in pain, if you're tired, like your mind's gonna be like, okay, stop doing whatever you're
Yeah, stop
doing.
you and it's not used to it.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
not used
used
to
to it.
wanting this, so it's gonna tell you,
It's
"Stop."
like, I'm happy to know that my body is doing its job, right? Or
Mhm.
my mind is working well to do its job, but I
Mhm.
think the main thing that I took away from that was I have to be strong enough to beat my mind. Like, I
Mhm.
approach every single run as you need to be mentally strong enough to overcome your mind. Like, it's you versus your mind, and who are you gonna let win? That's kind
Mhm.
of what I tell myself every single time I run, so when I am doing long distances, like, I have recognized, like, today we ran 7 miles. I was kicking on that
Mhm.
5-mile lap, right? And I was
Mhm.
like, "Man, I'm tired, like, how am I gonna get these 2 more miles in?" And
Mhm.
kinda just, like, recognizing that that was my mind really giving up on me there. I was like, "No, like, I want this. I
Mhm.
want 7 miles today. I don't care how tired you feel, like, I'm gonna do it." So,
Mhm. And your
kind of
legs will are gonna keep moving.
yeah, that's another thing, like, my legs it's not like at that 5-mile point, my legs just got tired, like,
Mhm.
they've been tired for all 5 of those miles, so if
Exactly.
they got me to this point, they'll definitely get me through 2 more, is what
Mhm.
I've realized, and it's kind of made me, like, unstoppable, I feel like, with running, like, as
Mhm.
much as I'm like, "Oh, 10 miles is hard," like, it is, and it definitely takes a lot more mental work, but I feel like if you told me to go run a marathon tomorrow, I'm not saying I wouldn't need training, I definitely would, but mentally, I could probably do it. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's like it's just your mind. You have to outwork your mind.
Well, and I feel like with that too, it just created discipline for you with running, even with me. Like, you have discipline with the gym, but with running, it's like we're comfortable with the gym, we're comfortable with our routine. Of course, we push ourselves in the gym, but running was like this whole new level of discomfort, especially running for that long of a time. So, you needed that to click in your brain almost that, like,
Yeah,
this is just my mind telling me it, and as long as my legs are moving, like, I'm gonna keep moving, basically. And
exactly.
I feel like people are always like, "Oh, like, how do you stay motivated to wake up every morning and do it and to work out all week and just, like, how to eat healthy," whatever it is, but really, I feel like it's the discipline that matters. Discipline is always going to outwork motivation, and discipline is gonna be the thing to get you out of bed in the morning, and the motivation is gonna come once you show up for yourself, and I think that's the cycle that we're on, especially staying consistent. It's like, I don't wanna wake up some mornings my alarm goes off and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? How is it already 6 AM?" Like, I
Like,
do not
oh,
feel like doing it. But then I think about how am I gonna feel after this workout, and I know that result because I did it the day before, and I know how I felt the day before.
yeah.
So it's almost just reminding yourself that you're not always gonna be motivated, but because you've created that discipline and the habit of getting up and working out or even finishing work and working out whenever you do it, you need that discipline to drive the motivation. And I think people think it's always motivation, but I personally think discipline is way more important than the
Oh,
motivation factor.
absolutely. I don't think you'll get anywhere, not that you won't get anywhere in life, but discipline will always take you further in
Yes.
life.
Mhm.
With discipline, you're set. I think it's should be everyone's number one priority on almost like perfecting and instilling in their life is
Mhm.
make sure you're disciplined and whatever you do,
Mhm.
make sure you because it's applicable to all things, not even just fitness. I just want to say briefly, like think about like when you work or doing a podcast, like we need to stay disciplined to make sure we're recording every week, make
Mhm.
sure we're getting content out. Like it's just discipline and everything you do is
Mhm.
what gives you results. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I
So
think, like I said, discipline creates the motivation, and then think the motivation creates the consistency. And you've heard it before. We aren't the first people to say it. Like, consistency is so key to every aspect of your life, and I think especially fitness. And I think consistency really teaches that delayed gratification, because you are not going to see results in a week. You're not going to see them in a month, and you might not even see them in a year. You might see some results, but you're not going to see your end result in that short of time almost. So that whole loop factor of like discipline, motivation, consistency, like you need all three of those to keep working.
yeah,
And I
and I,
think just like having like an end goal, just know it's not going to be here in a year. Like you got it. Year
yeah.
2, you might see more results. Year 3, you might be like, wow, I'm a completely different person. And then it will force you to want to keep going to see where you can take it in year 4.
Yeah, and I really think that ability to, do something that's really hard or exert hard like energy every single day towards something and not see a result and then choose to do it again the next day and the next day and the next day is just a very powerful thing because once your mind clicks with that,
Mhm.
you really can do anything. So,
Mhm.
delayed gratification, there is really something to say about it. It teaches you a lot because it teaches you to keep pushing through even when, it's not instant.
Mhm.
You don't get your dream body just by going to the gym one day. It
Mhm.
takes effort, and most of the time in life, it takes effort. So
Exactly.
that's what I've
Exactly.
also learned. And I'm realizing that's really how it is for almost everything in life. You need to be able to work without seeing that result to keep you going. And like for me personally, I want a lot of things in life. I want my dream body. I want to be successful. I want a closer relationship with God. Like I want a lot, but in every single one of those cases, you need to work hard. Like
Mhm.
you will not get them without putting in the work every single day without taking action. Like
Mhm.
action needs to be taken in order to reach something,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's just like a really important point as well, you
And I
know?
feel like it's so easy to lose sight of the whole action part, especially today. Like a lot of people talk about manifesting and stuff like that. And I love that. I love the energy behind it. But I think people forget that you're not just going to wake up one day and have the life you want without putting in the action to get there.
Yeah, like you can journal, "Oh, I wrote this down, I'm gonna will it into my life." And
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I also think with manifestation, it's like what you just said, what people don't realize is manifestation really just convinces your mind that
That
you
you're
can do it, so then when you go to take that action, you do it. Like, you know what
exactly.
I mean? And sometimes I think people just think manifestation is like, "It's gonna happen for me," and I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not because you didn't take an action towards
Yeah,
it." So
exactly. So action is extremely important. And of course, in fitness, you need the action to get any result at
yeah,
all.
so write down a list of everything that you want for yourself in life, and then write down 5 actions that you can take to
Exactly.
get closer to that goal, because then you'll achieve it. You'll do anything you want in life if you just take the actions to get
Mhm.
there. That's it. That's simply it. So,
Well, and
yeah.
I think with that too as well, like for me personally with the gym and what I see for myself is in order to reach any goal, like we're saying, is you have to have this vision. And the vision is extremely, extremely important, right? Like you have to know what you're working towards. But
Oh, yeah.
say you just started out your fitness journey and you can't imagine what your body could look like in a year from now or 3 years from now. Take someone who's where you want to be, has a similar body type to you, whatever it is, and put that person on a wall. Like put that person in the back of your mind. Like for me, it's Kendall Toole, who's the Peloton instructor. I've always just been like obsessed. She has
Good.
strong arms,
Her
strong legs.
body her
She's just
body is stunning.
solid. She's
Yeah.
solid muscle and like she's so feminine in it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like she's not manly, she's very feminine,
Yeah.
masculine, muscular, excuse me. But so for me, it's like when I wake up and I forget my why, it's like I just take it back to like, what's my dream body? And, of course, it's not all physical, but like the main point of the gym, I think for a lot of people is physical
Yeah.
and have that vision in your mind too, because then once you start seeing results, it's almost like, wow, this is paying off. Like this, I'm on the way to my dream body.
Yeah.
And once you even get to your dream body, you're still gonna have, like, more expectations for yourself, but that's just a ripple effect, and
Yeah,
I
then
think
then you set a new vision. Once you're
Mhm.
Kendall Toole's body, then you set the next level of it. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? And someone who has that mindset or has worked to get to that point will always want for more. So,
Mhm.
it's not like you're gonna get there and be like, "Oh, I'm worried I'm not gonna have it anymore once I achieve it." No, naturally it'll come. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Because
Yeah.
the the discipline, the motivation, the consistency, the habits, the mindset, everything that you gained throughout that entire journey doesn't just go away the second you look in the mirror and you're like, "This is my dream body." It's like, no, it's all a part of your life now, and now it's just become so natural for you to have those things, and it can grow into other areas of life, which I think is so awesome about exercise, and I think that's why we love it so much.
Yeah, it's
Is
applicable to everything. Everything that we do, it's like I see lessons in fitness and I'm like, "Oh, that applies there, there, and there."
And just,
Always.
like, the mental clarity I feel like I gain after a workout too, even, like, just going on a walk. It's like
Yeah.
I feel so better, and I think me and you can both agree, it's like the days I don't work out, even if I didn't have time to, like, go on a walk or anything, it's like I completely was just too busy to do anything. I feel way more overwhelmed or, like, foggy in the brain almost, like, I have this, like, grog over me that I wouldn't have if I had gone to the gym in the morning or whatever it was, like, ran in the morning, walked in the morning. So I just think exercise, it's like, if you feel anxious, you feel depressed, you feel anything, like, go for a walk, go
Yeah.
for a run, lift up
Go
some
lift some
weights
weights.
for
Like
5 minutes, like, try it for 5 minutes and just see what happens, and so it's not just physical, it's of course mental as well, but I think that's like a really important part of it too and why we love it so much.
yeah, and I think it's just like you'll never regret a workout,
Mhm.
like as you just said, like you're not gonna get anything worse from putting in 5 minutes of going on a
Exactly.
walk or lifting a weight. It's not gonna do anything negative in
Mhm.
your life. It's only going to better you. So
Mhm.
why not go do it? Why not try it out? If you're seeking change or you feel like you're in a rut and you're looking to get somewhere, try it out. Like
Mhm.
I'm just so passionate about exercise in general because for me, like mentally, I see the results. You'll see it like my sister and mom, my sister, you.
Mhm.
Well, like I literally come home from going on a walk alone, like a 40-minute walk alone, and I'm like, I'm having a million new thoughts. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Hazel's like,
literally,
I need to go write this down."
like I literally have like revelations on my walks that don't just happen on that walk. They like change my mindset
Mhm.
for the rest of my life. And once I have that takeaway, it's set in stone. I don't drop it.
Mhm.
So I just think like even that, like recognizing that happens for me, I'm like,
Mhm.
that's why I love going to the gym. That's why I love walking. That's why I love running now, which I never
Mhm.
thought I would say. But
Mhm.
I just always better myself by doing those actions.
I think it's all, of course, about finding what works for you. So for us, we really love the gym and we enjoy walking, but say you just want to do yoga or you want to do Pilates or tennis, swimming, whatever it is, I think you just have to play around with it too. Like I went through phases of a bunch of different types of exercise. You'll never get hurt by just trying out something. And if it doesn't work for you, just move on to the next thing. I think the regret that comes with not trying hurts more than giving it a go.
Yeah, you let yourself down when you do that. So,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like never mentally disappoint yourself. If you
Mhm,
take action, you will always feel good about yourself. So, main really takeaway from this is, if you're just starting out your fitness journey or trying to elevate your fitness journey, you're looking for it to be more disciplined. Really, I would just suggest like find find that vision that Kateri was talking about, create that vision in your head because with that vision becomes a why and when it's hard to find a why and you don't get a why without a vision. I would also like to preface like you need to know what you want in order to know why you want it. And I
mhm,
think when you realize why you want something, if you want it bad enough, you will do it. So
mhm,
how do you stay disciplined every day? How do you wake up at 6 in the morning when you don't want to do it? Think of that why because if you want it bad enough, you'll get out of bed and you'll go do it. And I
mhm,
think that's really the main takeaway I have from how to be more disciplined. That's what I've implemented in my life that has truly gotten me out of bed every single morning and taking the actions in my life. That's what gets me there.
yeah, I
So,
agree. I couldn't have said it better myself.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening again, and if there's anything you guys wanna hear, please feel free to DM us any topics, any questions you have, and we are always open for any other ideas for our listeners.
Thank you guys for listening to yet another episode. We hope you are enjoying them. We can't wait for you to hear more in the future, as I always say. But for now, peace
Peace
out.
out. That was so insane.
I'm gonna go eat some fruit.
Yes, let's make a smoothie.
So, yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.